At the beginning of the story we see a girl named Joy. Joy is extremely happy because she is going to meet her boyfriend after a year. Her boyfriend had gone to Canada for his job. After serving for a year he has now returned. Joy's mother gives her the car keys so she can get there. Here we learn that Joy is deaf-mute, she cannot speak. Her mother warns her that the road she's taking is very dangerous and tells her to be careful. Joy replies, in her own way, that her mother need not worry, she will reach there. Then she gets into the car and drives toward her boyfriend's house. She is very excited to meet him. During the trip she sees a shop and stops the car. It's a gift shop run by an old man who sells handmade items. Joy buys some gifts for her boyfriend. Then she sits on top of her car and takes a selfie, and sends that selfie to her boyfriend so he knows her location and that she'll arrive soon. Seeing his girlfriend's photo, Dean becomes very happy. Joy resumes her journey. While driving she uses her mobile phone, which distracts her from the road. At that moment an injured man suddenly appears in front of her car. Joy slams on the brakes, causing the car to wobble and stop a short distance away, saving the man's life. But when Joy looks outside, the injured man collapses. Joy thinks of saving him. Then she sees that some gang members are chasing another man. That man is running and falls, the gang drives a car over him and crushes him. Seeing this, Joy is stunned and the gang members turn toward her. Joy could have started her car and driven away, but she doesn't. She wants to help the injured man lying on the road, so she quickly steps out of the car and puts him into her car. Before she can leave, the gang reaches the scene. They seize Joy and start harassing her, and then they brutally kill the injured man in front of her eyes. Terrified, Joy tries to run away, but the gang leader, whose name is Trey, shoots her directly in the leg so she can't escape. After being shot, Joy falls to the ground. The gang takes her to one of their hideouts, where they tie her to a bed with barbed wire so the wire digs into her hands. They torture her terribly and she writhes in pain. Meanwhile Joy's boyfriend is worried because a long time has passed and Joy hasn't returned. He keeps messaging her, but there is no reply. Then he notices the last photo Joy sent him. In that picture he sees a signboard that reveals Joy's last known location. He immediately calls the police and tells them the location, appealing for help to find Joy. Back at the hideout, the gang members are physically torturing Joy badly and leaving her in a terrible state. Trey tells Joy that she's not the first girl they've done this to, they have tortured and killed many girls before. He claims that his rule holds over the whole area. He says he is the grandson of the man who destroyed the Apache tribe. He then opens a cabinet full of severed human skulls and shows them to Joy, saying these skulls belong to the Apache tribe members that his grandfather killed during the war. He takes one skull out and shows Joy, claiming it's the skull of the Apache leader. Hearing this and seeing the skulls, Joy is terrified. Everything Trey says is true. His grandfather was a colonel in the military, and 100 years ago during a war between American soldiers and the Apache tribe, Trey's grandfather completely annihilated the Apache tribe and kept their heads as trophies. Following his grandfather's deeds, Trey now persecutes innocent people. After a while, the gang finds out that Joy cannot speak. One boy suggests they should not torment her further and that they should kill her now. But Trey says, "Not so fast, I want to torture her more." Then the two of them make a bet, and they start playing cards. Trey says, "If I win this game, I can do whatever I want with that girl. But if you win, then you can kill her." His companion agrees, and they begin playing. All of this is overheard by Joy, who is tied up in the other room. Joy realizes that if she stays there, she'll end up dead anyway, so why not try to escape? While the men are busy playing cards, Joy somehow manages to free herself from the barbed wire and quietly sneaks out of the room. Meanwhile, Trey's friend wins the game, meaning Joy must now be killed. He takes a knife and heads toward her room. When he arrives, he finds that Joy has escaped. He begins searching for her and spots her in the distance. He catches up to her and stabs her multiple times, killing her on the spot. The next day, the same old man who sold handmade crafts by the roadside is walking with his dog. The dog starts sniffing around and leads him to a buried body. When the man uncovers it, he realizes it's the same girl who bought something from his shop a few days ago. He takes Joy's body home, mixes some herbs, and applies them to her wounds. Here we learn that the old man belongs to the Apache tribe. He chants some ancient words and learns what those cruel men did to the poor girl. Filled with sorrow and rage, he begins performing black magic. He chants spells and performs a ritual to bring Joy's soul back into her body. After a while, Joy's body suddenly rises into the air. Indeed, a soul has entered her. Joy's face becomes terrifying, her eyes turn completely black, and she attacks the old man. But the old man quickly throws something at her that knocks her unconscious. Meanwhile, Joy's boyfriend is driving through the area, still searching for her. He stops at a nearby hotel. Later, when Joy regains consciousness, she finds herself in a city area. There she spots a public telephone booth. She rushes to it and calls her boyfriend, telling him, "I'm alive, and I'm fine." Because a spirit now resides in her, Joy can speak again. Hearing her voice, her boyfriend can hardly believe his ears. Overwhelmed with joy at learning that she's alive, he's about to say more when the call suddenly disconnects. He immediately traces the location of the public telephone and heads there. Joy is still at the same place when a police officer notices her. She approaches him for help, but then realizes that the officer is actually one of the gang members. Seeing him fills her with rage, and this is where the real revenge begins. Joy follows the corrupt officer into a club and quietly approaches him from behind. When the gang member turns and sees her, he's terrified. He can't believe his eyes. How could this girl be alive? They had killed her themselves. Joy's eyes turn completely black again, as if an evil spirit possesses her. The gang member attacks her, but Joy is no longer the same helpless girl. She brutally beats him, his screams fill the club. Then she grabs a glass bottle, slashes open his stomach, and pulls out his internal organs, killing him violently. The club owner tries to shoot Joy, but she knocks him unconscious with a chair. In the next scene, Joy's boyfriend arrives at the location of the public phone. He sees that the police are already there. He asks them about Joy. One officer tells him that a police officer was murdered here, and the girl he's looking for isn't around. Just then, Trey arrives with his gang. When they see their companion's mutilated body, Trey is furious. He can't figure out who could have killed him so savagely. At that moment, Joy's boyfriend approaches them and shows them her photo, asking if they've seen this girl. When they look at the picture, Trey quietly tells his men, "Tell him to leave immediately, otherwise, he'll be killed too." Trey then walks up to Joy's boyfriend himself and says, "You're wasting your time looking for her. She's not here anymore, she's gone somewhere else." What he really means is that they killed her. Joy's boyfriend doesn't understand the hidden meaning and says, "Joy must be around here somewhere because she called me from this exact location an hour ago." Hearing that shocks the entire gang. They move toward Dean, Joy's boyfriend, to kill him, but a police officer arrives and orders them to leave. When Joy opens her eyes again, she finds herself in a wooden house. Suddenly, the door of another room opens by itself. Joy slowly walks toward it, and when she steps inside that room. When Joy enters the room, she sees all kinds of tools and weapons lying around. She picks up a bow and arrow and leaves. In the next scene, we see the gang. At first, they refuse to believe that Joy has come back to life. But to be sure, they go to the place where they buried her. When they arrive, they find that Joy's body is gone. Seeing this, they panic. Now they are convinced that Joy has really returned from the dead. However, one of them, the one who actually killed her, still refuses to believe it. He says, "Maybe some wild animal dragged her body away. There's no way someone I killed could be alive." But deep down, fear starts to creep into all of their hearts. Trey tells them, "We should get away from here for a few days so no one notices us. Even if the police start investigating Joy, we'll be far from this area and they won't catch us." They all go home to pack their things. But as one of them is leaving, he sees that someone has shot an arrow into his car tire, puncturing it. He's terrified. He immediately calls his friends and says, "I think that girl is here, somewhere near me. Suddenly, Joy appears and shoots him in the leg with another arrow, making him fall. She keeps shooting arrows at him until he dies. Later, her victim's friends arrive and find his dead body. Seeing another of their members killed fills them with rage. Meanwhile, Joy notices that her body is slowly decomposing. Horrified, she goes back to the old man and asks him what's happening. The old man explains everything. I found your body in a grave. When I found you, your body had no soul, you were dead. I performed a ritual to bring your soul back, but another soul entered along with yours. That second soul belongs to the leader of the Apache tribe, a warrior filled with centuries of vengeance. He will not rest until he destroys the entire bloodline of the American colonel who wiped out his people. He chose your body because both of you share the same enemy. The old man also tells her, your body is decaying, you don't have much time left. You must finish what you started quickly. On the other side, the gang realizes that Joy will never stop until they're all dead. Trey comes up with a plan, we'll kidnap Joy's boyfriend. That way, she'll come to us, and we'll trap and kill her. Meanwhile, Joy's boyfriend is sitting alone, heartbroken and crying, missing her deeply. Suddenly, Trey and his men show up, beat him up, and throw him into their car. As they are about to drive away, Joy appears and shoots one of Trey's men in the neck with an arrow, seriously injuring him. Blood pours from his wound. Trey and the man who killed Joy panic when they see her alive again and try to flee. Joy jumps onto their moving car. She fights the man who had stabbed her to death earlier. He repeatedly stabs Joy again and again, but nothing happens to her, she feels no pain. His eyes widen in shock. Just as Joy is about to kill him, Trey suddenly slams the brakes, and Joy is thrown onto the road. Laughing maniacally, Trey drives the car over her multiple times. But even that has no effect on Joy. Seeing this, Trey is horrified, he realizes she can't be killed this way. He speeds away and returns to their hideout, where they've tied up Joy's boyfriend. The man who was shot in the neck is also there, writhing in pain, but they refuse to take him to the hospital, afraid he might reveal their location. Trey's friend tells him, when I looked into her eyes, they were completely black, like she was possessed by some spirit. Hearing that, Trey immediately understands, it's that old man, the one who sells handmade crafts near where we buried her. He's from the Apache tribe. He must have brought a soul back into Joy's body. Trey becomes frantic. He knows now that Joy won't stop until she kills him. He hires dozens of armed guards to protect himself. Meanwhile, Joy is patching up her torn body with tape. Suddenly, the spirit of the Apache leader appears before her and gives her two ancient weapons, the ones he used in battle. Night falls. Trey's injured friend, in unbearable pain, secretly tries to drive himself to the hospital. Terrified, he prays that Joy doesn't appear. But his worst fear comes true, she suddenly appears in front of his car and throws a rod straight into his abdomen. It pierces through him, and his car flips over. He dies instantly. Back at the hideout, Trey tells Joy's boyfriend everything, how they tortured his girlfriend and killed her brutally. Hearing this, Joy's boyfriend breaks down in tears, devastated by what she suffered. A few moments later, Trey learns that Joy has reached his house. He alerts all his men, but Joy kills them one by one. When Trey looks for his last surviving friend, he finds him already dead, and then Joy appears before him, holding her victim's heart in her hand. It's the heart of the man who had stabbed her to death. In front of Trey's horrified eyes, Joy eats the heart. Terrified out of his mind, Trey runs outside. There, he sees a police officer, who tells him, "Don't run, stay here, I'll handle everything." But Trey, in panic, shoots and kills the officer, then flees again. Later, Joy meets her boyfriend. He bursts into tears upon seeing her and begs her to stay with him. But Joy has little time left, she must finish her revenge, and she leaves. Trey, desperate, goes to the old man's house and points a gun at him, shouting, "Tell me how Joy came back to life." The old man tells him the truth, that Joy is possessed by the soul of the Apache tribe's leader, who will not rest until Trey's entire family is wiped out. Furious, Trey demands, "How do I stop this?" The old man replies, "If you want to survive, you must burn all the skulls of the Apache tribe. Only then will their souls be released from Joy's body." Meanwhile, the police arrive at the hideout where Trey killed the officer. Inside, they find Joy's boyfriend tied up and free him. He explains everything to the police. At that same time, Joy reaches Trey's home and kills his entire family, because the Apache leader's soul inside her demands vengeance. Then Trey follows the old man's advice. He gathers all the skulls of the Apache tribe and throws them into a pit to burn. But he realizes one skull is missing, the skull of the Apache leader himself. Suddenly, Joy appears, holding that missing skull in her hand. Seeing her, Trey is terrified. In a desperate move, he grabs a chainsaw and attacks her. A fierce fight breaks out. Joy slices off Trey's hand, but he drives the chainsaw straight through her body, splitting her in half, yet Joy feels nothing. She attacks Trey relentlessly and finally slashes his throat, killing him. At last, Joy and the Apache leader's vengeance is fulfilled. A little later, Joy's boyfriend arrives. The old man had called him there. He finds Joy's half-burned body lying in a grave. Tearfully, he says, "I love you, Joy," and then burns her body. As the flames rise, Joy's soul, and the Apache leaders, are finally set free, their revenge complete. Joy's boyfriend never fully understands what truly happened, but the old man tells him everything: how Joy died, how she came back, and why she had to kill those men. And with that, the story ends.